Welcome to another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes, the first in-school Dialogue with the Dukes in the 2022-2023 season. I'm your host, Bill Berger, and today's show is being brought to you by the Truly Simple Boutique located at 134 West Herrick in downtown Wellington. Today we are talking with actually four members of the Wellington High School golf team. We're going to start with the ladies first, and then after that we'll have the guys coming in talking about their noteworthy as well as the noteworthy and historic accomplishments located within the school, and specifically having to do with the girls golf team this year. On my immediate right is Lily Oswald. She is a junior. She's a three-sport athlete in softball, basketball, and I'm missing one. Golf, of course. And we have Cameron Morris, again, a three-sport athlete in basketball, golf, and track. Welcome to both of the ladies. The reason why I say that this is a very historic situation and very noteworthy for Wellington High School is that this year, for the first year, we have had a girls golf team here at Wellington High School. And these young ladies, along with our other members, are truly historic. And not only, shall we say, you're not just the first historic, because a couple of years ago we had Grace Dudziak, who was the first golf, well, it wasn't first golf, she was the first football player on the all-boys football team. So even though you're not first, you are first within the golfing community. So congratulations to both of you. My first question will be to Lily. How old were you, and who introduced you to the game of golf?
I started this summer, so I'm 16, and I was introduced to it by my dad and also Sophia Palmason. Like, she wanted to join the team, and I just joined with her. I started this summer.
Mm-hmm. Was it tough? Was it tough learning how to hit that little white ball?
Yeah, it's a lot tougher than people think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Cameron, again, how old were you? When did you start playing golf? And who introduced you to the game of golf?
I also started playing this summer, and my dad introduced me to golf. We just started this summer and got out on the course a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
How long has your dad been playing?
I think since his freshman year at high school.
Is that right, really?
Yeah.
Well, Cameron, what are the names, besides, of course, Lily, who are all the members of the girls golf team here at Wellington High School?
Our other freshmen are Allison Gott and Brooklyn Regal, and then our other junior is Sophia Palmason.
Okay. Lily, obviously, as I said, it's the first golf team for the girls. Do you feel like it's historic? Do you feel like it means something? Do you feel any pressure being the first girls team and hopefully doing well for Wellington High, in representing Wellington High School?
I feel like it's a big step for our school, like just getting a new girls sport. Like, we are the first team, so we're getting used to it. Like, we don't have a lot to prove yet, but I feel like next year we're all coming back and we'll be a lot better next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cameron, Lily already said it. It's a fairly young golf team. I mean, we have, let's see, if I counted it right, with what, 3 freshmen, 1 junior, and what
We
am I
have
missing?
2 juniors.
2 juniors, okay, yeah. So obviously it's a fairly young team. What's it look like as far as the future, as Lily already talked about? What's the future for the girls golf team? Your thoughts as far as how well you think the girls are going to do, especially after having 1 year under your belt, so to speak?
I think that just because we had a golf team this year, it'll kind of get the word out that we have a girls golf team, so more people will start to want to play. And I think that the more people we have, the better that we could be in the future.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that is there any way to know? Are there any golfers, any other female golfers within Wellington that you can recruit to get on the team?
Not that I know of, but I think that the fact that we have a girls golf team this year is a good thing because we've never had one, and I think that it's important that people know that we have one, because if they want to try it, then it's there.
Uh-huh. Well, how'd the team do this year, Lily? Are you playing against other schools that have girls golf teams, or is it just kind of who's out there?
There was 2 schools in the LC8 that had girls golf teams, but there's a few out of our conference, so it was good to get a few wins, but we're still fairly new, so we got beat a couple times, but we're trying our best and we're improving every time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. How'd the team do?
I think our record was 3-5 4 maybe. So
I think, yeah.
yeah, that sounds about right. So we're fairly new. It's like we're just trying to improve every time.
Who are the teams in conference?
It was Columbia and Keystone.
And out of conference, do you know?
Fairview, EC, North Olmsted, Rocky River.
I think that was it.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Obviously, you're playing against schools that are bigger.
Yep.
You know, have a whole lot bigger, shall we say, class to choose from, so on.
Mhm.
So the fact that you had 3 wins, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Cam, tell us who the name of the coach is. What was his input? How did he motivate you? How did he teach you?
Coach Braddock was our coach, and then we had Sophia's grandpa, Mr. Burkhart, come and help us a little bit. But Coach Braddock, he was like very patient with us because we're all new, we're all starting out. He took us a lot to the range, which is where we spent most of our practices, just
Mhm.
hitting and practicing. He scrambled against us a lot, which helped us like with our competitiveness, I think, a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and kind of like getting the sense of like what it feels like to play.
What did he, during the matches now, what did he provide for you? Because obviously golf is not a spectator sport at all. It's just within yourselves. How did he provide, shall we say, the motivation and so on? And maybe even as a corollary, how did your other team members provide the motivation for the team?
I think we all like encourage each other a lot. Like we're like a family. Coach Braddock, I think he was allowed to like talk to us during the matches. So he'd always like give us tips and stuff while we were playing, help us fix what we were doing.
Did he, for lack of a better term, did he suggest certain clubs and certain shots or things like that? Was that all up to you?
Most of that was just up to us. Like mostly he critiqued our like swing and stuff.
Okay. Well, Lily, final question. What do you think the biggest challenge for the first girls golf team here at Wellington High School, what do you think the biggest challenge was in getting a team, well, number one, getting a team together, and then number two, actually performing in competition?
I think our biggest challenge is just like our nerves. Like we're all just new to the sport, so we're just trying to like get under our belt like a match or two, and then we gained a lot of confidence after that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, once again, I'd like to thank both Cameron Morris and Lily Oswald for coming in and talking to us about how historic the girls golf team was here this year. It's the first time we've ever had a golf team with females only. I know that in the past that some girls have played on the boys team, but it's the first all-girls golf team. We'd like to thank you very much for coming in and talking about the historical significance of the fact that you are always and will always be the first golf team for Wellington High School. We'll be back again to talk about the boys and their noteworthy accomplishments this year. This is Dialogue with the Deuce. We're back. Today's show is being brought to you, as I said, by the Truly Simple Boutique, located at 134 West Herrick. For any of you who are interested in women's clothing or a gift for the special woman on your list, consider going to the Truly Simple Boutique, located at 134 West Herrick in downtown Wellington. During the first segment, we talked to the girls on the first historic Wellington golf team for the girls. And now we are talking to, on my immediate right, we have Landon Davison. He is a junior, I believe. He's a 3-sport athlete, and if I can get all these right, it's golf, bowling, and baseball. Yep. And on my immediate left, this young man should need no introduction because we've interviewed him before, Riley Reyna. Again, a 3-sport athlete in both basketball, golf, and baseball, of course. I keep messing that up. Welcome to both of you. As I mentioned earlier, the golf team at Wellington High School had many noteworthy events and historic events, and the boys were no exception. This year, since 1997, 25 years ago, before either of these gentlemen were born, in fact, other than Mr. Conklin in the back, none of you were born back in 1997. So for the first time in 25 years, the boys golf team won the conference championship. Not always the LC8, because there were many other conferences involved. But this year, they won for the first time in 25 years the boys golf team championship. So congratulations to both of you and the entire team. I'm going to brag a little bit on the golf team. As I said, they were the conference champions for the first time. They were undefeated this year. They had 8 matches and they won all 8 of them. Coach Geyer was elected as the coach of the year in the LCA. And not only was the team undefeated in all of their matches, but they were also undefeated in both the preseason tournament and the postseason tournament. So you were great. I can't say anything different. You guys were absolutely great. Now, we had several players that also placed on the LCA teams. On the first team for the LCA conference was Braden Hamer, along with Riley Reyna and Landon Davison. And second team, all LCA, was Jack Marsh and Lucas Sutherland. So congratulations to those 5 gentlemen on making either the first team or the second team. We're back. Today's show is being brought to you, as I said, by the Truly Simple Boutique, located at 134 West Herrick. For any of you who are interested in women's clothing or a gift for the special woman on your list, consider going to the Truly Simple Boutique, located at 134 West Herrick in downtown Wellington. During the first segment, we talked to the girls on the first historic Wellington golf team for the girls. And now we are talking to, on my immediate right, we have Landon Davison. He is a junior, I believe. He's a 3-sport athlete, and if I can get all these right, it's golf, bowling, and baseball. And on my immediate left, this young man should need no introduction because we've interviewed him before, Riley Reyna. Again, a 3-sport athlete in both basketball, golf, and baseball, of course. I keep messing that up. Welcome to both of you. As I mentioned earlier, the golf team at Wellington High School had many noteworthy events and historic events, and the boys were no exception. This year, since 1997, 25 years ago, before either of these gentlemen were born, in fact, other than Mr. Conklin in the back, none of you were born back in 1997. So for the first time in 25 years, the boys golf team won the conference championship. Not always the LCA, because there were many other conferences involved, but this year they won for the first time in 25 years the boys golf team championship. So congratulations to both of you and the entire team. I'm going to brag a little bit on the golf team. As I said, they were the conference champions for the first time. They were undefeated this year. They had 8 matches and they won all 8 of them. Coach Geyer was elected as the coach of the year in the LCA. And not only was the team undefeated in all of their matches, but they were also undefeated in both the preseason tournament and the postseason tournament. So you were great. I can't say anything different. You guys were absolutely great. Now, we had several players that also placed on the LCA teams. On the first team for the LCA conference was Braden Hamer, along with Riley Reyna and Landon Davison. And second team, all LCA, was Jack Marsh and Lucas Sutherland. So congratulations to those 5 gentlemen on making either the first team or the second team. Both of you first team, great. Now, so Landon, not being a huge golfer myself, in fact, I think I would ascribe more to the girls that just learning how to hit the ball is good enough for me. Landon, how is each golf game scored? How is a winner determined in any golf match?
Well, we take the 4 best scores, so the 4 lowest scores out of us 6 guys,
Mhm.
and you total them up, and whatever team's got the lowest after you add all 4 scores up is the winner of the match.
So it's always just the 4, but
It's the
yeah,
4 best.
exactly. Now, how do you as I kind of mentioned, with the girls, it's not a spectator sport.
Right.
It's basically just you guys out there against the other team and the coaches involved. How do you help each other out there? How do you motivate each other out there, Brian?
Really, there's not much you can do. You kind of just gotta look at them, if they're mad or something, you should tell them to calm down, relax. It's really just an individual sport in the first place, so kind of just gotta pep them up, give them a little talk, but that's basically all you can do.
Now, I'm going to ask a really stupid question because I don't know. How, when you go out golfing, is it a certain number of people on each hole? Are there waves of golfers, or do all 8 of you golf on the same hole at the same time?
It usually depends. Like in tournaments, you'll go out with like 4 at a time.
Okay.
So tournament-wise, it'd be like 4 different schools, and match plays-wise, it'd be like 2 off the same team and then 2 off the other team. So you
Okay.
still go out as 4 as a whole.
Okay.
So,
Are there 8 teams in the LCA?
there's 5 teams.
5 teams, is that right? So when you, you do go, like, let's say you're gonna golf for Wellington, are there like 4 other golfers that go on that first hole type thing, or is it different? I don't quite
So
understand.
say we face Firelands, it'd
Okay.
be their 1 and 2 man,
Okay,
and our 1 and 2 man.
oh, okay,
And then our 3 and 4, their 3 and 4, etc.
We'll go out right after them, like we
Right.
stagger, like they are on the green of that hole, and then we tee off on the next hole.
how long does it take to do a match? Cause you, now, 9 holes, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, how long does it take to have a match completed?
Anywhere from like, I'd say 2.5 hours to 3 hours, depending how fast
Two,
you're going.
two, 2.5, 3,
Yeah,
around there.
it depends.
Obviously, that's the reason why golf starts earlier in the year,
Exactly.
because you don't want to end up with a low light situation.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Landon, who are the other team members? We already talked about Braden and the 2 of you being on the first team, and then Lucas and Jack on the second team. Who are the other members of the golf team for
So
Wellington?
the other guys are Nate Glavich, Blake Crothers, and Elliot Barlow.
Okay. Now, do all 8 players play every match, or is it different? Is it different for tournaments versus a match?
Yeah, so for matches, it's the best 6 scores for our practice rounds is who plays in the match. And then some tournaments, there's only 5 guys that go and play, and others there's 6. But
Okay.
most of the time it's 5.
Oh, and it's the best 5 or 6 scores,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Exactly. Obviously, a noteworthy season, Riley. Describe the golf season. What was it like?
It's pretty hard to explain. Coming out 10 and 0 after all of it, it was amazing. I don't know. I've never had so much fun in the sport, honestly. If I wouldn't have started last year, I don't know what I'd been doing. Golf's amazing. It was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't explain it
Uh-huh.
much more, but
It helps a lot when you win, huh?
Yeah, it was way better.
Exactly. Well, I didn't, in the pre-talk that we had, I didn't really let you know about this question, so this is gonna be off the wall. Coach Gundry was your assistant coach this year.
Yep.
It's the first year that he's been the assistant coach of the golf team.
Mhm.
What did he add to the team?
He kind of just helped with our mental part of it. Kind of keeps people more relaxed and not so tensed and aggravated about certain aspects of the game, and just someone we can talk to if we need help with something. It's just another guy there to help.
Well, I've seen Coach Gundry on the sidelines of the basketball team, and he can get pretty excited. So how did he tone down to help that motivation or help the assistants with, if you got upset?
He kept it calm until after. Once we were done, he was pretty excited.
Was he
It got all
really?
of us really excited, and
Uh-huh.
I think that helped us out a lot this year. Is
Uh-huh.
keeping more of a positive mindset.
That's probably extremely important in the game of golf, is keeping that positive mindset. Because you can't, if you have a bad shot, you can't worry about that one.
Yeah.
You gotta keep going down the line. Well, Riley, describe what it meant. Do you think it meant for Wellington High School to get that first conference championship in 25 years? Was there any pressure on you, as I kind of asked the girls? Was there any pressure, any noteworthiness or anything like that?
I wouldn't say there's like pressure. I'd say there's pressures on other schools because everybody already knew that we were going to be top dogs. So like we kind of just went out there and did our thing.
Why you said that everybody's kind of, your reputation preceded you. Why was that? Was it because of the number of people that are returning or what?
Yeah, we had a lot of people. What did we have? Like 5 or 6 people
Yeah.
come back from last year.
Jacob Wiegman was the only only senior last year, right? Yeah.
We had 7 guys come back from last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which helps a big one.
Did the other schools have a lot of people that graduated?
I think Keystone had like 2 key important people that were shooting 70s par, like almost par. So like that really helps.
Well, as I mentioned already, Landon, that Coach Geyer was the coach of the year. Was there anything, because he was the coach last year, adding to the fact that he had now an assistant coach, now he's coach of the year, was there anything different this year that he did that maybe put him above the other coaches in the other 7 or the other 4 teams?
I think that he did more like actual on-course practices,
Okay.
which a lot of teams aren't able to because due to like timing and everything. But I think he did really good at getting us a lot of practices and being available to us to help us out and be understandable. And explain stuff.
Yeah, his other job, I know takes up an awful lot of time. Was he able to arrange his schedule, or was this just something that I'm the golf coach, I need to be here at a certain time? How did that work out?
Yeah, he kind of changed some of his availability with his job to kind of work around golf more, so he would be available for us when we needed it.
Good. Well, Riley, I asked you because you're a three-sport athlete, and I could ask the same thing to Landon, but because you're the senior, I'm going to ask you the question. What has Wellington athletics taught you in your 4 years here at Wellington High School, if it's taught you anything?
I'd say it's taught me a lot. It taught me how to like be responsible, determined, and it's crazy. I can't even explain it like through words how much it's taught me. But I know during golf, during the summer, we'd have to come out and like practice at 6:30 in the morning. A lot of people wouldn't do that, 6:30, bright and early. Nobody's gonna wake up that early. But I'd say it taught me a lot of responsibility.
Okay, responsibility. Now, with the different teams like baseball or basketball, obviously those two are spectator sports versus golf. Obviously not. But you were talking about responsibility. But there's also something to do with the teamwork. Got to be different for baseball and basketball and golf. How is it different?
I'd say in basketball and baseball, you gotta build relationships. I've already had like a big relationship with like a lot of people, and I don't know, it's just kind of growing up with them caused me to have those relationships. So you get to like talk to people more and get to like know what they're thinking. If they're not having like a good part of like, I don't know, if they're like doing something wrong, they can just like come to me and like I can help them, or come to the coaches. That's how I'd like rather have it than like just like being stranded.
I'm glad you brought that up. How do you help the underclassmen, being a senior?
I haven't helped a whole lot, to be honest. They haven't came and asked me.
Is that right?
And maybe that's my fault, just like not telling them that they can come to me, but not too bad. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, once again, we'd like to thank both Riley and Landon for coming in and talking to us about the noteworthy accomplishments of the boys golf team this year and the fact that they are conference champions for the first time in 25 years. We'll be back again very soon with another episode of Dialogue with the Dukes.